Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, ask and answer a question, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro. Edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. The summer of superheroes continues, and on this episode, I'm showing some love to the Steve Rogers Captain America and the Sam Wilson Captain America. Now I'm going to touch base on both those characters later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked, which new X-Men in John Size X-Men #1 was the first one to die? Well, the correct answer is Thunderbird. And 3 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their name's been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is ZJ Hooks from Camden, Arkansas. So congratulations, ZJ. Win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Captain America question. Which legendary comic book creator's first work was an issue of Captain America Comics? Was it A, Len Wein, B, Steve Ditko, or C, Stan Lee? Alright, here's some hints to help, and there's only 2 of them. The first hint is that despite not being the founder of Marvel Comics, this creator was affectionately known as Mr. Marvel. And then the second hint, and this is a really dead giveaway if you really know comics and you know the writers. I mean, there are some folks who don't even read comics to know who this person is. But yeah, I kind of gave that away. But this comic book creator's catchphrases were Excelsior and hey, true believers. Yeah, I think you may know who that is now. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. So, I gotta ask, any questions?
Questions I walk around in. Questions I didn't thrive in. Questions I will survive in. Questions.
This question comes from James Muse from Arlington, Texas. He asks, what is your favorite memory related to comic books or superheroes? Well, James, that's a very good question. I'd probably have to say when Superman became a dad. Now, in a 2-issue miniseries called Convergent Superman, which was a tie-in miniseries to another miniseries called Convergence, or A Wheel Within the Wheel, we see the Superman and Lois Lane from the pre-Flashpoint DC universe. And Lois is very pregnant. And then she ends up getting attacked by the Flashpoint Superman. And then she goes into labor. This is at the end of the first issue. But then, in the second issue, she gives birth to her and Superman's son, Jonathan. And ever since then, from then to now, I've seen that he's become an even more grounded character. I mean, yeah, sure, he's an alien from a dead planet, but he's always been a grounded character. But I mean, he was a grounded character when he first became Superman. He became even more so when he married Lois Lane, and now seeing him as a dad. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, but the issue Superman became a dad, most definitely. All right, now yesterday, I have asked y'all to. So I've asked folks to submit some questions for the Any Question segment, and I got a lot more than I asked for. But I just want to say thank y'all, because now I have quite a few questions for several episodes. I want to say probably through the month of September. But if y'all want to submit a question, go ahead and do so. But remember, the questions have to do with the with comics or anything within the realm, and it could also have to do with me in terms of both the hobby or the show. But please, no personal or tasteless questions. I will neither ask nor answer them here on the show. All right, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up is Absolute Wonder Woman number 9. Deadpool number 15. Number 350 overall. Fantastic Four number 33. The Flash number 22. John Size Age of Apocalypse number 1. Green Arrow number 25. Green Lantern number 24. The Incredible Hulk number 26. Justice League Unlimited number 8. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 34. Rogue Sun number 28. Spider-Boy number 20. Superman number 27. Ultimate Spider-Man number 18. And finally, the Uncanny X-Men number 16. Or is it? Is that 16? Yep, I was right, 16. All right, that's 15, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 13,805. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's the question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which legendary comic book creator's first work was an issue of Captain America Comics? Was it A, Len Wein, B, Steve Ditko, or C, Stan Lee? Now here's some hints to help. The first hint is that despite not being the founder of Marvel Comics, this creator was affectionately known as Mr. Marvel. And then the second hint, this creator was known for his catchphrases Excelsior and Hey, True Believers. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to ZJ Hooks from Camden, Arkansas, who won a free tee on this episode. All right, on this episode, it's all about the Captain's America, and I'm going to start off with the Steve Rogers Captain America. Now, Steve Rogers made his first appearance in Captain America Comics #1. It was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. His notable affiliations are the Avengers, the All-Winter Squad, the Illuminati, well, not the Illuminati you're thinking of, this is a comic book version of the Illuminati, the Invaders, S.H.I.E.L.D., and last but not least, the U.S. Army. And his noble aliases besides Captain America have been Nomad and, well, the Captain. His abilities are enhanced to the absolute peak of physical perfection by the Super Soldier Serum, is a master martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant, master tactician and strategist, and he wields a virtually indestructible shield made out of vibranium. Now, Sam Wilson made his first appearance in Captain America #117 in 1969 and was created by Stan Lee and Gene Colon. And his notable affiliations have been the Avengers, S.H.I.E.L.D., Defenders for a Day, Heroes for Hire, the Mighty Avengers, and the Avengers Unity Squad. And his notable aliases, beside being a Captain America, have been Snap Wilson, Blackwing, Blackbird, and a code name that he's gone through a majority of his publication history and best known as the Falcon. Now, his abilities are empathic and telepathic link with all species of birds, flight via wing harness, is a skilled martial artist, aerialist, and acrobat, is a proficient tactician and strategist, is a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, and an expert bird trainer. In fact, he throughout his publication history, he's had a bird that's always gone with him on missions by the name of Redwing. That, and since he became Captain America the second time, he even has his own shield. Now, when in the comics, when he was Captain America the first time, he had Steve's shield, but then after the miniseries called The United States of Captain America, he ended up getting his own shield made by the made in Wakanda out of vibranium. All right, this is a Captain America Sentinel of Liberty comic hero tee, and this is a Captain America Symbol of Truth comic hero tee. Now, all my products, in addition to these two, have a brand new home, and that is Shopify. I have a Shopify account. I just opened it a few days ago. So if you want to go ahead and order something, if you would like a shirt like this, or you would like to order something else, you can find them on Shopify. Here's my account down below. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. The Summer of Superheroes rolls on, and next week, in anticipation of the movie coming out next weekend, on episode 529, I'm going to show some love to the Man of Steel, Superman. Then on episode 530, I'm going to show some love to a Batman villain who saw the light. Well, sort of. Harley Quinn. And then on episode 531, in anticipation of the forthcoming movie that's coming out later this month, I'm going to show some love to Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four. And on that episode, I'm wearing not one, not two, not three, but 4 shirts, and they'll all represent all 4 members. And then on episode 532, I'm showing some love to Batman's on-again, off-again flame, Catwoman. And speaking of which, I just want to thank my friend Mandy Hooter from Bossier City, Louisiana, for helping me come up with some characters to show some love to throughout the Summer of Superheroes. She suggested both Harley Quinn and Catwoman. Thank you, Mandy. And I have comic hero tees for both of them, so y'all stay locked on those. And then meet me at the 10th annual GeekCon. It's at the Shreveport Convention Center in Shreveport, Louisiana on August the 22nd through the 24th. I'm going to be a vendor there, and there's going to be a lot of other great vendors, and then we're going to have a bevy full of amazing guests. I mean, we're going to have Holly Marie Combs, who played Piper on Charmed. We're going to have have Dorian Gregory, who played Daryl on the first few seasons of Charmed. We have Brian Krause, who played Leo on Charmed, and we also have Rose McGowan, who played Paige beginning in season 4 of Charmed. So, and then some other guests. Also, Big Papa Pump himself, Scott Steiner, will be there. And then my friend Roland Paris, a comic book artist who's been around for a very long time, will be there, and then several others. So as Loretta Lynn would say, y'all come. And then meet me at the second annual Louisiana Delta Comic Con, which is at the West Monroe Convention Center in West Monroe, Louisiana. I'm going to be there. My friend John Stout from Kettle Briar Workshop will be there. My friends Justice and Jordan from J&J Cosplays will be there. My friend Shane Dyson will be there. Then the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, for all you wrestling fans, are going to be there. I mean, he's going to be there. It's also a lot of great vendors. So again, y'all come. Man, I tell you, and you know, I say this every week, but I seriously mean it. I love doing this show. I mean, this show is, I mean, I've been doing this for almost 12 years. In October, I'm going to celebrate the 12th anniversary. And, you know, I just thank God that I've been doing it for this long, and I thank Him for putting it upon my heart all those years ago to do it. Because an old friend made a suggestion to do it, but I didn't want to do it because back then I was camera shy and very self-conscious about my voice. But then all of a sudden I figured, you know what? Why not? All right, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the East Texas Comic Con Fans Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the Louisiana Delta Content Creators Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the East Texas Comic Con Fans Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. All right, I'm Victor Nunley on The Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 529. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero!